The vision for the Emancipation Avenue Main Street corridor is to create an essential destination for residents and visitors to experience African American history and culture by establishing itself as a model for economic development without displacement of people, history, or culture, and collaborating with diverse stakeholders to create a prosperous neighborhood where people can live, work, and thrive. The Emancipation Avenue Main Street program is a culture-based economic driver that supports historic Third Ward entrepreneurs in achieving their goals for equitable and sustainable community development. Our goal is to always reflect the rich cultural history and heritage of the historic Third Ward. We are dedicated to raising the visibility and viability of our locally owned and operated Third Ward businesses. I am Alicia Neal, the Executive Director of the Emancipation Economic Development Council, also known as the EEDC. We manage the Emancipation Avenue Main Street program, which is a national and state level designation that focuses on the preservation of history and culture through economic revitalization of the historic Third Ward. Through this program, we work to revitalize the Third Ward community, focus on supporting small business owners, and celebrating all the beautiful, unique aspects of the historic Third Ward.
I am a third generation resident of the historic Third Ward. That means my grandparents came in the 40s and my parents met, fell in love and married in the historic Third Ward, and I was born in the historic Third Ward. And now I live in Third Ward and I work in Third Ward. We as a community began to meet around the question of the future of the neighborhood in 2013 roughly. And we really brought all the stakeholders together, particularly our faith-based organizations, our nonprofits, our community development corporations, and other organizations and residents to really call the question, what could we do as a community, as a group of stakeholders to really protect the future of Third Ward as a historic African American neighborhood.
So our partnership with the Emancipation Avenue Main Streets program has been one to really bring the economic prowess back to Emancipation Avenue. Emancipation Avenue was once a vibrant and thriving area within historic Third Ward. Our goal in partnership with the Main Streets program is to allow us to bring back that historic but forward and progressive feeling for the district. We have businesses that have been in existence along Emancipation for over 40 years. Some are new, some are fresh. Many people don't even know the history of Emancipation Avenue.
The Emancipation Avenue Main Street, which was formerly called Dowling Street, was actually home to 2,300 unique businesses during its heyday. Emancipation Avenue was one of the main streets where African Americans could shop. It also had, you name it, doctors, lawyers, churches. It's just overall just a beacon for the history and the culture for African Americans within the city of Houston. Of course, now we have Emancipation Park that has been revitalized.
Emancipation Park was founded in 1872, and it was formed by 4 young men right out of slavery in an effort to provide a place where they can celebrate their freedom, which is now known as Juneteenth. And next year, the park will be celebrating 150 years. So these 3 men pooled the resources together in the community, not just to celebrate freedom, but they wanted to be recognized as celebrating land and property ownership. And that was very important back then. And it's still important today. We're so proud of the partnership that we have with Emancipation Avenue Main Street because we have a facility, they have programs, and we have partnered together to make sure that we can keep those programs alive in the Third Ward community. We can communicate the rich history of the community, but we can also offer some economic empowerment opportunities because that's what Main Street is really all about.
With a group of volunteers and really committed stakeholders, that group began to explore opportunities to revitalize the neighborhood. So we always understood that part of this effort had to focus on creating, maintaining, and expanding economic opportunities for businesses, for residents, and for other stakeholders in the neighborhood. What businesses belong on the corridor? What businesses are needed on the corridor? And how can we ignite our imagination? Because it was important to remind our community we weren't trying to do something that hadn't been done before. We were building on a history and accomplishments that makes this such a wonderful and amazing neighborhood that it is.
Our goal is to grow the area. And what that looks like is making sure that not only are business owners being equipped with technical assistance as well as connection to resources, that they have a voice and that we hear that voice and we make sure that they have what they need in order to be sustainable and to create a legacy here in the district.
You can support small business owners within the community by becoming a member of the EEDC. Or you can follow us on social media and find out what's going on, get up-to-date information on what's happening in the community, as well as how you can support, make a donation. All donations go towards supporting small business owners within the community or supporting our community resident programs. Over the years, even though we saw decline, now we are seeing a resurgence and a more investment and excitement about the community. And we're here to make sure that we're serving the community and supporting its residents. The Emancipation Avenue Main Street is where culture and commerce meet.